Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony Show. And so this is going to be on YouTube without the intro that we just had.
Yeah.
And generally speaking, if you're watching this on demand on Twitch, you're probably not watching the intro. So I want to explain something. We have these emotes on our Twitch channel, right? We have 5 free emotes that you can use even if you're not subscribed to our channel. You just showed up and you're like, oh, I want to use these and have some fun. They are Washington State,
Yeah.
New York, New Jersey, and Florida, which
Like
are
little
probably,
shapes.
the outlines of those states. And those are most likely the states that we have the largest viewers in.
Did you pick them or did Twitch say,
Oh,
hey?
no, I picked those.
Oh.
I made those. You know I made those, right?
No, you told me that Twitch gave them to us.
No, Twitch gave us the option to give out free emotes. I made those emotes. Anyway, this isn't a good job, Anthony, on the emotes because they're pretty basic. So there was a request by Meg in the chat who said, when can we get an Ohio emote?
Yeah.
I said, you know what? Oh, and the 5th emote that we have, because we have 5 total, is the whole United States, whole map. I said, right now, whatever state you're in, if it's represented in the emotes, put the emote in there, and the last one to come to the table, like Duck Duck Goose style. No, that's not Duck Duck Goose. What would that be?
Musical chairs?
Musical
I don't
chairs
even know
style.
what's happening.
Gets voted out and gets replaced with Ohio. So,
Well,
much like the SNL skit from Weekend Update, Florida is out and Ohio is in.
wait. But who just said this? Someone said take out. Oh, Megan said take out the U.S. No one uses. Sorry, Meg said take out the U.S. No one uses that one. You could probably add 2 then.
Well, so then I could add Ohio because I'm replacing
Just add
Ohio
Ohio.
with. So how about this? We'll replace the U.S. with Ohio for next week.
Okay.
So Florida, you're still in. Just barely. And then next week on Thursday, we'll do the same thing, and we'll have a roll call of the states. And whichever state is last out of the 5 now, because we'll have 5 full states instead of 4 in the U.S.,
Okay.
will get voted out every week on Thursday.
Well, you said that those are the free ones, though. Can't we put in all the states and just most people are subscribers? They can use them.
We can put in all of this, not all of them.
But a lot of them.
We have 32 spots for tier 1 emotes. So that's if you are a subscriber at tier 1, which I think almost everyone is, except for maybe Carla Marie's brother. Because he bought tier 3 for like 4 years or something.
I don't know what he did.
Which I appreciate. But there's really no need for more than tier 1 at the moment. Even the people at Twitch said that.
Well, how do we do that? Seattle Cocktail Club said, make us pay for our states.
I don't know how to do that. But we can probably figure it out. So we have 32 spots for the tier 1 emotes. We have 5 for the free emotes. We have also under tier 1, we have another 5 in gifts. So I can maybe make the 5 biggest states or most active states gifts. That brings us to 42, which means we still have to leave out
Well, I think we're good
8
there. No one is
and
listening
DC and Puerto Rico.
No one is listening from Alaska, Hawaii, DC, or Puerto Rico.
I bet you we have someone in DC because we have some people in the DMV area.
Yeah, but they could probably either associate with Maryland or Virginia.
If there's
That's
anyone
the M
from
and the
DC,
V of the area. I don't know if you knew that, right?
yes, DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Okay. Also, what other states does no one care about us in?
I don't know. I mean, we have had, at least with My Day Friday, we've had listeners in every state. So we'll figure it out. But then we lose all of the other emotes too, right? There's no spinning Anthony retro.
Oh, we can't.
head,
We got to keep that.
Right? There's no, and then we won't be able to add the cats
Though that's
because that's something we're working on. I'll tell you what, I took a Seattle Gummy Company gummy like 5 minutes ago.
I was waiting
I feel real good.
for you to acknowledge the fact that you were absolutely obnoxious right
Why? Am I being Carla Marie
You
on
are.
gummy status
You
right
are.
now? Also, yeah, that emote that Lenny just used in the chat, which is, and you can't see this on YouTube, which is why you should be here on Twitch. There's the emote of me crashing my little baby motorcycle.
That's still one of the greatest things I've ever witnessed.
Let's see. We are at 150% of Hype Train level 5, which means for the 29th day in a row, we have completed Hype Train level 5. We've got some wobble shots from our friends at Seattle Gummy Company. Thank you to everyone who put the shot glass emote in the chat to let us know we had reached the goal. Carla Marie, you ready for some wobbles?
Yes.
I just took an energy gummy. It's like I'm taking an alcohol gummy.
Oh, God.
It's going to be good.
MakeThemWobble.com. I can also drop it in a second. They're so good. I love this.
And yes, they look like egg yolks, but that's just to make them easy for us to eat. All right, I'm doing the other one. Round 2, down the hatch. Those are really, really good. Like, really good.
If you didn't get your bingo cards yet, don't stress. The rest of them are going out today.
Bingo is on Wednesday, which will be June 1st, which I found out in doing research for the Morning Show podcast that June 1st is the official start of hurricane season. And if you missed the report in the Morning Show podcast, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, didn't think I'd remember that one, is predicting that this will be a worse than normal hurricane season. So to all of our people in Florida, as you come very close to being, wiped off our remotes, you could also be wiped off the map.
Don't say that.
No, they won't. Florida will be there. You'll lose some windows and some shingles. But those are shingles, right? Yeah, there are shingles.
Oh, well, we don't have shingles. But yes.
There's got to be a shingle up there, no?
No, we have that flat thing.
Oh, because we don't have like a... No, there's got to be a shingle somewhere.
Go all the way up. You can.
I can. I'm going to go check. I think we've got at least one shingle.
No, it's that plastic.
Did you ever have shingles?
No. And I was just going to say something.
One gummy, two wobbles. Hey, how do you cook up a good Anthony? One gummy and 2 wobbles.
Man, I'm going to shove a gummy down your throat every day. Every time you get cranky, that's what's going to happen.
Carla Marie had to make it weird. Thanks. Z from NYC said shingles are the worst. I've never had them. I have a family member who had them for a little bit, but I don't know. Like, I don't really understand it. It's like adult chicken pox.
Yeah, it's like,
is that what shingles is?
Really not okay for you. Okay, Florida has this whole big racket going on with roofing. Have you heard about this drama? I'm going to butcher it because I'm not from Florida and I'm not involved in it. But
well, people from Florida, feel free to weigh in.
Something happens where like these contractors knock on your door and like, hey, we can give you a new roof because your roof is likely damaged, blah, blah, whatever. And then they reach out to your insurance company and try to get a job that's not necessary.
Okay.
But what's been happening is by doing this, the contractors are doing something super shady, which is like kind of driving up the rates. It is almost impossible to get homeowners insurance in Florida right now because it's so expensive because they're driving up the rates. I think actually DeSantis tried doing something to kind of control
Let's see. Rebash24. Rebecca said, I actually work for a roofing contractor.
Where, though? Oh, great. Hov's here. He said we used to call Aunt Gumby in high school.
Oh, man. Where's Hov? Where do you see him?
He's
Hov. There he is. There he is. They did used to call me Gumby in high school. Because I was very nimble, like Gumby. What are you reading over there?
I'm just seeing what's on the list today because it's so far away.
Oh, okay. We'll go through the list in a second. Let's see. Oh, so Seattle Cocktail Club, whose parents, I believe, are in Florida, said if your roof is more than 15 years old in Florida, they won't insure you.
That's wild, but I guess.
And let's see.
Yeah, look, Florida cam every day. People knock on my door about roofing. Luckily, a new roof was put on my home right before I purchased it.
So I have to assume, putting this together, that the 15-year-old roof thing in Florida has to do with hurricanes, right? Like maybe it's not up to hurricane code, or it's just too old and it's going to be blown off in like any sort of hurricane and they don't want to insure you?
I don't know.
It's almost like, this doesn't make sense to me. And part of it, I understand, like if you knowingly build homes in a flood zone, then you have to expect flooding, right?
Yes.
But the fact that we allow people to build homes in flood zones, and then insurance companies are allowed to say, no, we're not going to insure you because you're in a flood zone, or charge you even more, makes no sense.
Right.
Like, what am I buying? That's exactly what I'm buying this insurance for, because I know I'm in a flood zone, and I would like to be insured when those floods happen.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. It is all one big giant racket. Like the entire Jersey Shore, so the little strip, Lavalette, that whole thing gets it's ocean on one side, bay on the other. So when big storms hit now, it just whoop, and goes underwater.
That becomes Atlantis.
But like that was just it's supposed to be what is that called? Land bearing. It's basically
It's a land barrier.
So it was supposed to protect the rest of Jersey.
Yeah, you're not supposed to have homes on it.
But there's homes on them. Hundreds of thousands of homes on them.
Not about hundreds.
No,
probably
think
thousands.
about all the tiny ones in those communities.
Real quick. So Becky from Miami, another Florida person. So maybe we do need to keep Florida in the emotes. Said they're trying to pass a law that companies will have to insure your roof if it's older than 15 years with an inspector coming out to see if the roof still has life. That makes a little more sense.
Yeah, than just
that
saying.
seems like a little middle ground here. Like, what if you've just been real lucky and your roof is still in great shape in Florida after 15 years? Now, I get it.
Barrier islands. Thank you, Lisa. That's the word.
What did I say?
I don't know. Land
Oh,
barrier.
land barrier. Which an island is land, which is a barrier. Anyway, I know this is gonna be tough to say, but I know how interesting talking about home insurance is. Some of the best commercials on TV have to do with home insurance.
Is it Progressive?
That's the bundle.
What's the parents one?
The parents one.
It's Progressive.
I think it's also a bundle, car and home,
No,
right?
stop it.
They're all bundles now. Anyway,
They're not doing their job apparently.
as interesting, well, Flo is Progressive. As interesting as home insurance is, we're going to have to move on.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We just can't use all of the good content on insurance today.
Sure we can though. Because as Brad Bash brings up, that is a good one. Jake from State Farm. Like that clearly stuck.
Yeah.
It's Progressive. It's the one that says I know Flo's Progressive, but the guy who's like, you don't want to turn into your parents. What
That's
is it?
also Progressive? I thought Flo is Progressive.
She is.
I do love that. Good morning, Martha. Allstate.
Is it Allstate? That's who I have.
Allstate. They're in good hands with Allstate. They really bailed on that once the parent thing became popular.
It's great though.
But they still sponsor all of those nets at football games.
Progressive Insurance is commercial about becoming your parents.
That's it? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, Progressive. Whoever does their marketing, give them a raise.
I
Because they got the two best commercials,
wish
two
it
of the
was
best five.
I wish it was a Netflix special
That guy.
of just that guy doing things.
Farmer is pretty good. Who
We
does
are farmers.
So who's Mayhem? Not our friend Mayhem who used to work in radio here. The insurance Mayhem.
He's hot.
What's that guy?
Mayhem Insurance guy is
What's his name? Dean Winters?
Allstate.
He's Allstate?
That has got to be such a fun role to play.
Okay, so he's Allstate. You know, Martha said her husband works for Geico, and we've got to give Geico
Yeah.
a lot of credit because the Gecko was ahead of his time. All these companies now are trying to do funny insurance commercials because the Gecko started it.
Wait a minute. The guy who's in Dean Winters,
Yeah.
Mayhem, this is the article. Why Allstate's Mayhem actor Dean Winters had multiple amputations. Is it from falling in the commercials?
He's been through a lot in those commercials.
In 2009, his life changed following a near-death experience when he went into cardiac arrest for 2 minutes after contracting a bacterial infection.
That's crazy.
What?
And look at him now. I mean, this is the low-hanging fruit of a question, but do you think his insurance company is Progressive?
And that's how we got there.
Do you think they covered him
Well,
for
no.
all of that?
No, because that's car and home, not body.
Yeah, well, they should still cover him.
My favorite thing is when I go on some of these websites and I get these ads. I'm going to show you a picture of the screen. Okay, those shirts. Who is buying these? Being dad is an honor. Being papa is priceless.
Oh, my mom got me one of those shirts. She did for my birthday one year.
That's
And
what
I'm
I do.
pretty sure it's-
I drink, I grill, and I know things.
She admitted it later on that she kind of like forgot about my birthday, but then realized she wanted to send me something and just went online and like literally typed in my birthday and bought me like 2 or 3 things that just had to do with my birth year or month.
Okay, what about this one? I never dreamed that one day I'd become a grumpy old man, but here I am killing it. But can we just take note of the various fonts?
There's a lot going on there.
Also, is that like a muscle shirt? What? I can't.
It looks like a radio graphics person made it.
Oh, there's a whole.
So, a couple things we've got to address, and I guess we're not going to get off the topic of bundled home insurance or home insurance in general. There was someone. Oh, the Baker Mayfield's commercials. I don't think get enough attention.
Sorry, I
What?
pause of talking to the vet.
Oh, okay.
They John now has to go to the vet.
John's Drool and John is what we call him in the house around these parts.
He is literally leaving puddles of drool everywhere, and he's fine other than that. But I think his nose is congested, so he's like, I literally have stoop kid.
Well, we'll see what happens. So, back to the insurance commercials because they're so good. Flo, the Geico Gecko and Flo were the trendsetters, right?
I'm sure there was someone that came before
Then
that.
Mayhem came in and like blew the top off the place.
No. What's his name? Was the Allstate You're in Good Hands was before Mayhem.
Yeah, but those weren't funny. It was
but-
iconic because the guy, was he on Law and Order? He's on some big show, which I didn't know. I didn't know he was a guy from a TV show until after the Allstate commercials.
How do we get one?
Or was it Allstate? Yeah, You're in Good Hands. And then Allstate decided, great product placement. We're going to put our good hands in all of the nets of the field goals. Phenomenal.
We had that at Rutgers.
And we're going to sponsor all the good hands plays of the games.
Yeah.
Because that works in almost every sport except for soccer. Maybe with a goalie that would work.
Life is a Hike, the Geico Caveman commercials.
Oh, yeah, the cavemen. Wait. Oh, because I was thinking of the Vikings with Capital One. Different.
What?
What?
John from KC said Flo is apparently a raging bitch in real life.
I mean, she's very passionate about her
coworkers
insurance.
don't like her. They think she's annoying.
Your coworkers don't like you normally. So, okay. So we went Gecko, Flo, Cavemen. Where would you put Cavemen on that list? Did they come? Were they before Mayhem? They must have been before Mayhem.
Oh, and don't forget, there's another one. Thank you guys. Liberty. Bibbity.
I'll tell you what. They're. I can't put them up with the other commercials, but the Liberty like on the pier.
Well, so
is pretty decent, and the Liberty with was it Emu the Limu? Yeah, not bad.
So I always thought that Liberty Mutual Insurance was only a East Coast thing because I had it there, and its thing was the Statue of Liberty.
Yes,
but then I saw commercials out here. I was like, oh, everyone gets this one, and they have the Statue of Liberty in the background.
Yeah.
That's where that's.
I mean, that's pretty. It's not like.
I'm saying in the commercials, they're like, that's Ellis Island behind them.
Yeah.
But I think it's crazy.
Why?
And everyone here gets Liberty Insurance.
I don't know where you're going with this.
Anthony says I look like the guy in the commercial. Which one? In the commercial?
Where they have the guy sitting on the pier with the long blonde hair and his dog, and everyone tells him he looks like his owner or whatever. Yeah, the J.K. Simmons, which... Again, a guy who I think his commercials have done better than most of his acting roles.
J.K. Simmons, yeah.
Right? You're seen more
Farmers.
often.
Farmers.
Farmers, yeah. Wait. Dum. No.
Fred sang it earlier.
Okay.
Hav said, also the Allstate commercial with the guy saying, what's up? But wasn't that the frogs in Budweiser?
This is what Hav does, for the record. And I can't be mad at him because I do the same thing. But yeah.
Lying?
Yeah, he likes to. That's what he does. It's a Hav thing.
So you guys I feel like in your dude chat, you're all
bro crew.
It should be called dad chat
No.
because you guys just make dad that's a dad thing to do.
Well, not all of us are dads. That would be rude, Carla.
Remember that commercial with Big Bird? No.
So we're going to the progression now. The most thrilling conversation we could have.
How are you not sweating?
Because I'm only wearing this. I don't have like a shirt under
Your
it.
pants on though.
No.
Okay.
I don't. I actually don't have pants on. I have shorts. For the record. Where were we going?
No.
Wasn't the Mayhem guy in the show Oz in HBO? I wouldn't doubt it. I mean, he's an actor.
I think so.
So, insurance companies just crushing the commercial game.
Yeah, they're
right?
great.
Flo, the Cavemen,
The emu.
Emu,
Liberty Bibbity.
Baker Mayfield's commercials.
I don't know
I
who
have
that
no
is.
idea what company it is.
Is that the football player?
Yes.
What does he do in his commercials?
So his home insurance is whatever company, but his home is the stadium in Cleveland. So it's just like all these little things he does. He like greets trick-or-treaters outside of the stadium, and it's all
I've never
these.
seen that.
What?
Never.
Oh, it's good.
Oh, what
There's
about
the one that's really good is he wakes up in his home and in the stadium, and he goes to like do very morning routine type things, right? Fills up his coffee, goes to the bathroom, all those things. But there's the stadium announcer who's announcing everything that he does
literally
along the way.
This must be on the sports.
Oh, it's
channel.
also progressive. What progressive?
Okay, wait. What is the other one I was just gonna say, and then you started telling me. Oh, the basketball one that's got all the basketball players. It's got the WNBA player, and then he zapped away. It was a Super Bowl commercial. State Farm, pretty sure.
I don't know.
His daughter was in it. It was the basketball player. His daughter.
Oh,
and
the
then,
Chris Paul. He's in State Farm. He's with Jake.
I said that.
Chris Paul, Jake,
But-
and yeah. Man, I forgot they have the whole NBA thing.
So-
Oh, you may have this one. You may not have watched. I don't think it was on the Super Bowl. There's the fake Chris Paul or new Chris Paul with State Farm. That's a good one. It's with Carlton from
Yes.
Fresh Prince.
Aren't the Manning brothers in, or is that not insurance commercials?
The Manning brothers.
They're in something.
They're in a lot. Those brothers.
Okay, well, listen. The next time you see an insurance commercial, tag us on Instagram. Maybe it's one we need to check out that we've never seen.
Let's see. Morgan said you have to look them up. He has one with Alice Cooper. Oh yeah, so this is the Baker Mayfield one because the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Oh.
is next to the Brown Stadium.
I've
What's
never
the Brown Stadium called?
I've never seen this. 83 Marie Smith says Nationwide with Brad Paisley, but
Oh,
Nationwide
yeah.
is on your side.
No, there's Brad Paisley. If I remember correctly, let me know if I'm thinking of your commercial. So weird. Brad Paisley and not Eli, Peyton Manning are like writing a song on Brad Paisley's tour bus, essentially.
Okay, yeah. So
think
Manning
that's the
brothers
one.
are- I just realized I was wearing my doofus headphones.
These are good headphones.
Yeah, but I don't like wearing this on the show.
Oh yeah, and State Farm also has Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. There's a Jason Derulo
Oh yeah, it's the same one with Mahomes.
with Jason Derulo.
pretty-
Is he doing TikTok dances?
No, it was
'Cause
the
that's his
Super Bowl
brother.
one, I think, where Jason Derulo was on the set with Jake from State Farm and Mahomes. They were all gonna be.
Oh yeah, no, that was Drake.
Oh, sorry, Drake.
That was Drake.
I've never seen Jason Derulo then. Whew,
Do you guys have Eagleman commercials in the 80s? I don't know.
I wouldn't know.
DJ Flipside 33. So we have spent a solid 20 minutes talking about.
It can't be that long.
Yeah, it's 8:30. We spent a solid 20 minutes talking about insurance commercials.
Okay.
We
Deborah said, "I don't see insurance talk on this list, but I am enjoying the
I mean,
conversation."
sometimes
Cindy, did you start this? Who started this?
I don't remember.
It might have been me.
But I will say, outside of insurance commercials, the other person who has to get a lot of credit is Lily from AT&T. I know that we're a T-Mobile family here.
Yeah.
But Lily, I feel like is bigger than AT&T.
For sure.
Like her character on television. And she's got to be making a crap ton of money and she's a real comedian and actress. Actor. We don't say actress anymore, right? Is that the thing? Yeah. I know she was just in some sort of project with Jay Farrow that's coming out soon.
Oh,
And I-
apparently Lily directs the commercials, Erica said.
That makes sense. She's a comedian, and they are highly comedic, which is also known as funny.
Wait, Lily was on This Is Us. I know
What?
This Is Us finale happened. There will be no spoilers because I didn't watch it. I read an entire article explaining what happened in the second to last episode. I used to watch
How many
it.
seasons of This Is Us have they done?
A handful. It's done. They're not even doing it anymore.
How many seasons? Is
5 to
that?
7.
Is that a
I
dash?
after 2 seasons said I cannot take an hour to 2 hours of my life every week sobbing.
Mm.
I'm done. And then
That's what the news is for.
And then I go to my mom and I'm like, Mom, what? She just tells me because she just
6 seasons, everyone says.
6. She just sobs every week. So I'm like, Mom, what's going on? And she's like, well, this happened with Kate, and this is whatever. I can't. It does great things. I believe it. I truly like the storylines are so real, and it's a really good show. But I had to bow out of that one. And 13 Reasons Why.
Oh, that's the Netflix show. Selena
Mhm.
Gomez produced it or something,
I
right?
think so.
Let's see.
Wow, I'm the same
Oh,
color.
the Toyota girl. Do you remember what's her? Jane, I believe, is the Toyota girl. She was apparently on Grey's Anatomy.
I don't know about this girl.
You don't know about the Toyota girl? It was like Toyota's response to Flo from Progressive. Like they tried to make a character that was big in their commercials. She's not terrible. She does a decent job. And for car commercials, there's not a lot you can do. I feel like car commercials can't have a sense of humor.
I don't really know anything about Toyota girl.
I'll show you her. Hold on. Did someone just mention Elise Myers in the chat?
Megan said Elise Myers posted about trying to watch it too. Listen, if I
This
could get Elise Myers on the show, I would die.
Jan from Toyota. You don't recognize Jan?
Oh, maybe.
Let me put Jan on the screen for everybody. What? Oh, that's her in real life, not in.
Suzanne from Connecticut.
Here we go. Let me pop this on the screen quickly.
I'm really curious as to why my shirt and my skin are the same color.
Huh?
I can't. This shirt is the same color as my skin. I can't wear it till I get a tan.
No, that's not what I need.
My hair is so gross.
Here we go. So just for those who were unfamiliar with Toyota woman, for the record, not Toyota girl, this is Jan.
The only car person I know is Captain Marvel. Oh, and Matthew McConaughey. Brie Larson.
So, this actually is a good kind of transition away from insurance for a moment. Matthew McConaughey.
List.
I got to put the list on. I want to switch it up a little bit. Matthew McConaughey, years ago, was in a movie called The Lincoln Lawyer.
Yes.
Okay. And Carla Marie and I were flipping through Netflix. Scrolling. Do you flip through, scroll through, browse through? What do you do? Like, you don't.
You do all of those, I think.
Okay. We were on the Netflix using the remote and going through the Netflix things. And bless you.
Thank you.
And there's, I guess, a new Lincoln Lawyer that is out.
Mhm.
Similar story. And I was explaining to Carla Marie that I actually really liked the original Lincoln Lawyer, and you had no idea that this was a thing.
No.
And I was explaining
Well,
it, and she was like, "Oh, wait, is that why he's in
The Lincoln commercial.
the Lincoln commercials?" And I don't actually remember what came first, but I do know that it's like he actually does like Lincolns,
Well,
or at least he's been working long enough to like them.
He talks about making it in his book.
The Lincoln Lawyer?
I'm
Okay.
or like getting the role or whatever.
Oh, it's a book series, according to Texas Chris, which shows how uneducated I am because I just thought it was.
A movie.
Actually, I think I did know it was based on a book, but not a series.
Now he does.
Yeah, like all those John Grisham books that become movies. Isn't John Grisham an author who writes a lot of books that become movies?
Yes.
He does. My mom loves the Grishams. And if I know there's a John Grisham book out, I know my mom will read it. Oh, the movie came first?
Before the commercials, not before the books.
Oh,
They're
okay.
answering something you said.
Okay. Let's see. Oh, and for the record, Alicia from the 215, who originally told us that Toyota Jan was also in Grey's Anatomy, incorrect. They just look similar. But Toyota Jan was in Crazy Stupid Love. Great movie with Ryan Reynolds. No. Steve Carell. Oh, and the guy from The Notebook.
Never seen it.
What's the guy from The Notebook? What's his name?
Ryan Gosling.
Gosling. There you go. Great movie. The Netflix series is entertaining, says DJ Flipside33 in regards to the Lincoln Lawyer. So the movie came first, and then they were like, oh man, Matthew McConaughey looks so good in a very, very old Lincoln. Let's put him in commercials for our new cars.
Someone said he gets free Lincolns for life.
I mean, he's got to.
Can he give me one?
And I get it. Listen, Matthew McConaughey and I, people have told us we have a lot in common. We've had this conversation, Maddie M. And one of the many things we have in common is, Matthew McConaughey, he obviously, like we're talking about, has done Lincoln commercials, and now he gets free Lincolns. I did commercials for an electric bike company and got a free electric bike. So, you could say me and Maddie M are the same person.
Okay.
He was in a TV
I
show.
did commercials for home buying. I did not get a free home.
Which people say that me and Double M, Martha knows the nicknames we have for Matt. A lot of people say we're essentially identical. He's a big college football fan. I'm a big college football fan.
His wife is a super hot model.
He likes green lights. I like green lights. You know, he has parents. And I have parents. We're essentially the same person. And if Hav's still in the chat, he'll tell you they used to call me Matthew McConaughey in college. All right, moving on to the things on the list.
Yeah. Okay.
Whew. First one, and this is going to go south for a second. It is okay to take a break. And it's something that I had to remind myself of actually this morning before we got here. Because the last couple days, all I've been doing was reading reports of what happened in Texas at that elementary school. And I think I got to a point where I broke last night.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to remind myself, yes, it is tragic. Yes, things need to change. Yes, we can't forget the feeling that we had when we found out that news. However, it is also okay so that you can remain active, remain, vigilant, remain dutiful. It is okay to take a break as well because you can't do all of those things 24 hours a day.
Yeah. No, you're.
So I just wanted to put that out there. It is okay to take a break. I know that this weekend, at least one day, I'm going to be just unplugging from everything.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
To get my brain back.
Yeah, there was a point where I said to Anthony, I'm like, I don't know why this one, the fact that I have to say this one is hitting me so hard. And you said the same thing. You're like, yeah, same. I don't know if it's because we're older. I don't know if it's because this has just happened way too many times. I don't know what it is, but I can't stop thinking about the kids, but the parents that are living through the absolute worst thing anyone could ever there's nothing worse.
And it's also, I have a lot of friends who have young kids in school who sent their kids off to school the last 2 days.
They all cried after dropping their kids off.
And that's not, listen, being nervous about your kid going to school is not the same feeling, obviously, as the parents who lost their kids who went to school. I can't imagine a worse pain. I really can't.
No.
But the fact that resonates so deeply with so many people everywhere, it just brings brings the collective soul of the country down because everyone's dealing with it.
There's a few accounts that I follow on Instagram that are, whether they're influencers or whatever they are, that are from other countries. And they have followers from other countries. And I was reading the comments because someone put up Lainey Molnar. No.
I don't know who that is.
No, that's the one. She's the artist.
What do you mean?
That does those really great sketches about women and someone's going to get it before I do. Someone will know what I'm talking about. Really, they're cartoon type, not cartoon, really awesome sketches of things that women deal with. And she had put one up in regards to the shooting. And all the comments, because she doesn't live in America, were, you shouldn't say this happens in the world, because that's what she put in her comment. She's like, it's only the U.S. And everyone's like, I don't understand why that country, and it was just seeing it from an outsider's view was so bizarre.
Yeah, when you see the numbers that compare America to the rest of the world, it's not encouraging. But the reason we bring this up is not to go down a hole of opening up the wounds that we're all that's going to be everywhere. And like Lenny said, having to talk to your kids about what to do in those situations when they're little kids.
Yeah.
And you're telling them what to do when someone comes in trying to kill them. I can't imagine having that conversation. But the reason we're bringing it up is to tell you, hopefully, this weekend, whether you have kids or not, take a break from all of that, even if it's only a day, because you can't take a break that long. It's life. But take a break.
Yeah.
Enjoy yourself. Make fun of insurance commercials. I don't know. Do whatever it is you do to laugh and to smile
Yep.
and to enjoy your time with the people that are around you, regardless of their age, because we don't know how long anyone's going to be around us. There was actually, it was Will Smith's episode of the David Letterman show. My next guest needs no introduction. And they did, they had to very clearly at the beginning of the episode say, this was filmed before the Oscars. So any reference to fighting is completely random.
Yeah.
But one of the things that Will Smith says, because he's talking to Dave Letterman about, how to properly, like how being controlling can bring you down when you try to control every situation. And one of the things he talks about is he got to be a freer person when he realized the idea of security is kind of fake, right? Because no matter how secure you think you are, and this isn't just in schools and shootings, you could take every precaution while you're driving, but still, no matter what, life can be taken in an instant. And his whole thing was, once you realize that you can't control that, you can't save all of the things that you love all the time, you can then start enjoying your time with those things, with those people that you love, with yourself.
Yeah,
it's just an interesting concept.
I don't know how parents just function, period. So
let's see. Sonia in Central Jersey said, it's hard. My son is almost 6 and generally speaking knows what's going on. So I've had to be super mindful and careful not to watch the news around him for the last few days. I can't imagine.
But it's also crazy because the kids that age, unfortunately, need to know what's going on. Because they need to be trained.
And the other thing that I was, and I promise we're going to move off of this topic in a little bit. I can't imagine being 6 years old, being any age, that's, school age kid, and needing to know, understand, worry about, and prepare for that.
I mean,
on a pretty daily basis.
Fire drills gave me anxiety.
The other thing that's unfortunate is, and this has been coming up a lot in the last couple of days, we have entire generations of students now, entire classes of kids who have been doing these preparedness drills,
Their
right?
entire time.
These active shooter drills. Unfortunately, we have now been training the same people who we are trying to protect our students from on what to do, on how to respond to an active shooter drill, so they know, they have the playbook. They know where everyone's going to be. It's kind of crazy, and that's not saying that we shouldn't prepare kids. It's just a weird catch-22. Like, you're kind of screwed either way now. Like, I remember, I never had active shooter drills. If you're older than me, you definitely didn't. But we had a couple things in high school after Columbine. But now it's, you start when you're, probably in elementary school, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you send Jay Wig said, that their 6-year-old's anxiety is already too much for this. Like, you put anxiety in these little kids, and then what happens?
And it's interesting because people will say, oh, we have a mental health problem. We don't have a gun problem, or we don't have whatever else problem.
They're just one.
I can't imagine preparing your kids to run from a shooter when they go to school is helping anyone's mental health or the parents' mental health. Like,
I literally hate it here.
All of it's kind of crazy.
I just, every time.
Now, we are going to move on from that.
Well, I did see Martha say she's going on her first family vacation.
Where are we going?
Where?
Can I tag along?
Oh, my God.
I need a break.
Okay.
So, let's see. I'm 44. We only had fire drills in school. The world has changed so much. Did anyone in this chat, I don't know if anyone's old enough for this, have the Cold War, under the desk drill?
Yeah.
Which really, if they drop a nuke on you, the desk isn't saving you.
We used to have earthquake or something signs, and I'm like, not earthquake, or tornado, whatever. I'm like, what is that happening?
Maybe it's just a standard federal thing you have to do. Because most schools are built as bomb shelters, right? Like they're what?
John, and I was going through this in my head yesterday too. He said, but God forbid we talk about why Billy has 2 moms in school.
Yeah.
What is harming people more?
Nothing makes sense. Nothing makes sense. You know what's funny? So my aunt was with a woman for a long time. And I say I mean,
They weren't.
legally they were, I guess, just girlfriends.
They were partners. Life partners.
Life partners. Had it been legal then, they would have been married and divorced at this point. But they chose to have 2 babies, and those kids growing up had 2 moms. And I feel like the people who are like, oh my God, we can't tell kids they've got 2 moms or whatever, like, they are in every way, shape, and form pretty normal, whatever normal means,
For
kids that went through school.
Yeah.
Like, none of it changed. None of it mattered. It's just crazy.
Michelle, your cousin Michelle said,
Never heard of her.
She said, I did career day at an elementary school a few years ago, and they had an active shooter drill. All of us, all the adults visiting for the event, were in shock. We had no idea what was going on, and the kids just instantaneously got to it.
That's crazy.
Nah, I hate it. I hate it.
I would be, if I was in that situation, and I guess I've never really thought about this because the teachers are part of the active shooter drills as well. If I saw a bunch of kids preparing for what would happen, and I know it happens, right? I'm not saying I can't believe this happens. I know it happens. But if I visually, like in person, saw a bunch of kids preparing for someone coming into their school with the intention of killing them, I would lose all composure. I would just start sobbing.
Oh, I just got chills and almost cried when she said that. I don't know how.
Like, I would literally just start sobbing uncontrollably.
They should have someone from the NRA go to schools for career day just so kids can be like.
Well, only because the people from the NRA would probably see it and go, well, you guys wouldn't have to do this if you all had a gun. And they'd be talking to 4-year-olds.
I can't.
Let's see. We had tornado and hurricane drills in 1st grade. I live on Long Island, so I'm not sure. Well, Long Island at one point back, was it, what hurricane was it in the 80s that like wiped out parts of Long Island? It's like really bad.
I wasn't here for it.
It doesn't happen often, but when Long Island does get hit, it gets hit hard. Let's see. Michelle said we were devastated. Yeah, it's got to be crazy just seeing kids practice scurrying or hiding for their lives.
Yeah. Gloria.
Gloria. Gloria. You know that song?
Mm-hmm. Wait.
What?
That song, what year did that come out?
I don't know. I think maybe in the 70s. But the only reason I actually know that song is in one of the very first seasons of American Idol. You know when they used to put on like the really bad singers and make fun of them? Back when that was allowed? Like what was
William Hung.
William Hung. He got a record deal.
1982 Gloria came out.
1982.
So
that was, I think, before the hurricane.
yeah, what's 1985?
So there's a clip. You know what? I'm going to find it.
Okay.
There's a clip of a guy singing Gloria terribly on American Idol, and it's one of my favorite clips.
Are we going to get DMCA'd? We're going to get a strike.
I don't think so, but if we do, it might be worth it. Gloria American Idol audition.
I was also wondering, because I just saw an SNL.
This guy.
What? He looks like a Pee Wee Herman. I've been wondering now that SNL has all these openings if I should go take my improv skills to New York City and give it a whirl. Because I could just be the featuring person at the end. Like, I don't need to be one of the top billing.
Well, just as long as you understand that SNL is sketch comedy, not improv comedy.
Yeah, but I'd actually be better at that. Because I got my notes in front of me. I would never even look at my note cards. It would only be for emergencies.
I don't think that's how that works. But
I
listen.
just want to hang out with Colin Jones.
Go for it.
Michael J. I love them.
I think they are phenomenal. I watched the only part of SNL that I watched from this past week was Weekend Update.
Yeah.
So
when
good.
they rip into each other. I'm telling you right now.
They didn't do that this year. They didn't write the jokes for one another.
They did it early on, I think.
I watched the whole Weekend Update. Like, it was long.
What do you mean? It was a thing with everything? No, they don't always do it at the final episode.
Oh, okay. They do it randomly in the season? Okay. Because this year, in the final episode, instead of doing that, I guess, they gave Pete Wentz his time to say goodbye.
I'm so glad Pete Wentz got to perform on SNL. I really am such a huge fan of Pete Wentz.
Oh, Pete Davidson, the other Pete. Less attractive, more...
Sugar We're Going Down was my favorite part of Weekend Update. They do it at the end of the year. Well, they didn't. Not this year.
Yeah, I did. Unless I missed it. Maybe they did it in a different skit.
I guess because they also had 2 departing guests in the 2 departing...
oh, yeah, the guy with the boat is the guy who's leaving, right? Did you watch that one? Guy who just bought a boat in Weekend Update. He does his little thing,
Oh,
his little ditty.
yeah, he's not leaving.
Oh, he's not? Because that was phenomenal.
Wait, what? That wasn't Kyle Mooney. That was someone else. No. 80 Bryant was in Weekend Update and Pete Davidson.
Oh, yeah. Eddie Bryant, she did the This Is Out,
Yeah.
This Is In thing. I don't love that bit, but they did a good job with it for the last one.
Thank you. It's Meg, not Megan. It's the Christmas episode with.
Oh, so it's at the end of the calendar
Yeah.
year. Okay. Now, let's see if this works. I'm going to pull up
I do love Kate McKinnon.
our browser here.
Oh, Stefan.
And this might be...
I'm gonna start while simultaneously campaigning myself for the circle.
He's
I'm
the
also
ultimate New Yorker
Sorry.
with an inflated sense of
Can they hear?
self-entitlement and
Hold
a
on.
mouth to match.
Can you hear that?
Did you guys hear the quick Ryan Seacrest intro?
That was Ryan. Oh my God,
Yeah,
what a
that's
baby.
Ryan.
What year is this?
That's Red Carpet Ryan. We're going to have to wait. Okay, they
heard
did
it.
hear
Okay,
that. Good.
Here we go.
So, of course, we had to roll out the red carpet.
So, Ian, didn't we see you on another one of these competition shows recently?
Yes, you did, actually. It was So You Think You Can Dance.
Don't start taking anything off. You're
Okay,
wasting
whatever.
our time.
I'm wasting your time?
Yes.
Who is that that British piece of He was a to me. I'm dancing because I would not consider that dancing. I'm like, have some tea, you British piece of crap.
This was on ABC.
I'm totally going to be the next American Idol, and you will be definitely calling me on the phone saying, Ian,
Calling.
can we hang out? And I'll be saying no, and I'll be hanging up. Anyone
This
who
guy
saw
is
me dance
not
comes
real.
up to me on the street and says, Ian, you are fantastic. And you know what I say to them? Thank you, I know. I'm going to be the next American Idol. What's your name?
No, I don't think so.
I will not stop until I am a household name. Hi, how you been? Hi, how you been? Hey, how you been? How you been? Illegals. Basically, every single time I walk outside.
That was
I'm
allowed
a
on TV?
superstar. Hi, I'm Ian Brenner. I'm going to be the next American Idol.
All right, we got to get to
When
his.
Chinchilla, and I'm wearing
There
it
we go.
specifically. And this is Chinchilla, and I'm wearing it specifically to be the next American Idol. I thought that it would be a nice addition
Can't believe you
to my
see all the
already
illegals.
long and impressive resume,
Which is...
How?
which is superstar, dancer, singer.
This is
And
why
this is
people think it's
Chinchilla, and I'm
okay.
wearing it specifically to show the world how wealthy I can be.
Well, you're not a superstar, but you are a singer.
I am a
dancer.
superstar.
No, with respect, Ian, you're
He's
not a
gotta
superstar,
be, like, fake.
but you may be a singer and a dancer.
I
which is
am
why
a
you
singer,
don't-
I'm a dancer, and I am a superstar. You can ask my family, you can ask my friend, you can ask one of my therapists. I am
One of.
One of.
How many therapists do you have?
I have two.
Oh, all right, okay. What are you going to say?
Gloria.
Okay.
Gloria, you're always on the run now, running after somebody. You're gonna get him somehow. I think you got to slow down before you start to blow it. I think you're headed for a breakdown, so be careful not to show it. You really don't remember. Was it something that he said, or the voices in your head calling Gloria? Gloria, don't you think you're falling? If everybody wants you, why isn't anybody calling? You don't have to answer, leave him hanging on the line. Hey, 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 calling Gloria. Gloria, how you gonna go down? Will you meet him
Okay.
on the main line,
Okay.
or will you catch
Okay.
him on the rebound? Will
Okay.
you marry for...
Okay. Randy.
Oh, God, dude, I don't even know what to say.
Thank you.
No, for me.
You?
This
Didn't
guy's
mean it that
clearly
way,
an
but-
actor.
3 syllables, Hollywood. Like, it's not that hard.
So, oh, man.
What the hell just happened?
Yep.
I'm not even gonna. Either he is seriously has mental health issues, or he's a great actor / plant for these shows because he was on
might
the
be.
other one.
He was on the other show. And here's the crazy part. That guy today on TikTok or Instagram would be like, he'd have hundreds of thousands of followers because of how
No, but
ridiculous it
'cause He
is.
said evil shit.
I did not, and maybe I just never watched the full episode, the illegals thing. Like, that's crazy.
TV in the early 2000s was still very fucked up, and that's why people we see like, oh, you can't say that on TV anymore, and you expect the rest of people to fall in line and realize what's wrong, but they don't because we're what is it called when you're a TV a vidiot, and you just like do what you see on TV, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, so many people just saw that and thought it was normal, and
So, but moving on from Gloria, anytime, and it's not often that I hear the name Gloria, but that video plays in my head. And I know everyone has those things, right? Like you hear a
Yeah.
random word or name or place, and the most obscure thing in your life just pops up.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating. If I hear Gloria, even the word glory, I
Okay.
just think of that video. It lives in my head forever. And someone said with that accent, he had to be from New Jersey or New York. I believe
Yeah,
they
it
said
was-
New York,
It was
right?
Bronx. I looked it
The
up.
Bronx? Okay. All right. What do we got here? Oh. So Carlin Reed told me to put this
Are you
on.
even gonna do this now?
Why not?
Okay.
Carlin Reed told me to put this on the list. Mom ruined my relationship.
Okay, not mine.
Not your mom. Okay.
So when I'm searching for things to talk about in the morning show podcast, I get hit with like some of the most ridiculous articles. And this is why it takes me so long to prep for the podcast, because I'm often like, ooh, let me go this way. Ooh,
Yeah.
let me go that way. And I came across this article that was, the headline was, I told my daughter-in-law she needed a shower. My son says I've ruined his marriage.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, let me see what
So they're already married.
Yes. Okay, so here's the
Allegedly.
story. Husband and wife, married, have a baby. The mother-in-law, the son's mom, shows up after a few weeks of the baby being born to their house
Mm-hmm.
and realizes their house is an absolute disaster. New parents, okay.
Yeah.
And the mom looks like the wife hasn't slept in days,
Maybe she hasn't.
is just like a hot mess. So she quickly realizes that her son is doing jack shit. Like the
okay.
baby would cry and he would just stare at the both of them. Like he wasn't doing anything.
Okay.
So the son went wherever, and the grandma, his mom, says to the wife, go sleep.
Yeah.
I'll take care of everything and take a
Okay.
shower. Go sleep and take a shower. I'll take care of everything. And then
Seems like a nice thing to do.
apparently the daughter even had like a C-section, and she was like, you smell like you have an infection, which can happen. She's like, you need to be taking care of yourself. Like, what is going on?
Okay. And coming from a mother,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure she understands what the new mom is going
Yes.
through a little bit, right?
So, takes a nap. She said, I've never seen an adult fall asleep faster.
Okay.
Wakes up, and the mother-in-law says, I told her she was becoming a doormat and that she smelled like she had an infection. I said that she needed to be on bed rest and that my son should do 100% of the cooking and cleaning rather than acting like a single teenager.
Okay.
Then they, I guess,
Well, first off, because a lot of people are saying, well,
Okay,
maybe
well-
this woman just raised her son to be a piece of garbage.
but very possible.
Which clearly she didn't raise her son to at least be caring enough about his own baby to,
No.
according to this story, be around and help out.
But she was the one that was like,
Yeah.
screw my own son.
So far, I'm on the mom's
Yeah, no, it's fine.
side.
So this is where like it got me hooked, and I was like, the headline was kind of obviously clearly different than
Yeah, she didn't come in and say, like, you smell like garbage.
right.
You're gross.
Well, I guess the son and his wife get into a huge fight. And so the mom says they had a fight, and my son told me I was a Karen and a bitch for calling his home dirty and his wife smelling. Megan and I didn't fall out. I guess so now her son is blaming her for ruining his marriage, telling her that she's the reason his wife now isn't speaking to him, and she's now wondering whether she should have kept quiet.
So here's the interesting thing. No, she shouldn't have kept quiet.
No.
She maybe should have spoken to her son first and said, hey, like, you are literally useless.
Like you
in
could
this
have told her to
relationship.
shower and take a break and then went to the
Yes. But the interesting thing that the son is hanging on to is he's saying, oh, my relationship is ruined because my mom told my wife that our house was dirty and she needed to shower. Okay.
no.
That is a very different story than my relationship is ruined because I'm a useless piece of garbage and my wife my mom stood up for my wife because I was so crappy and now opened my wife's eyes to how crappy I was
Yeah.
as a husband and father. Same incident, two very different interpretations of it. The son, in his anger towards his mom, completely removed any of his involvement
Yeah.
to cause that situation.
It's all his fault.
Yeah, it's 100% his fault. Like, and you know what? Maybe your relationship, this is going to sound rough, maybe your relationship needed to be ruined. I feel bad for the mom who might, if this goes even further, maybe this doesn't get resolved, and now she's a brand new single mom when she expected to have someone by her side,
Yeah.
which is going to be a tough transition, but she might be better off down the road for it.
I agree.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I saw that and I was like, this is nuts. I guess the mom posted it to Reddit is where they got this news article from. So people were like giving their opinions. And yeah, it's.
Let's see.
Well, we kind of had a similar conversation last week. You were talking about how you've seen people that you follow on social media be like, oh, my kid was sick. So my mom came in and is staying with us to help. And you're like, I don't understand. Like, why? What is the dad doing?
So the meme that I saw,
Oh, yeah.
and I saw a couple parents
That's what
share
it
it.
was. Oh, that's what it was. Okay.
Now, keep in mind, I understand that moms do a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. This, what I'm about to say, has nothing to do with the amount of work moms put in. Okay. It has a lot to do with other people in the relationship need to step up. So the meme was essentially, or the graphic on Instagram was essentially, if you ever feel like you're not doing enough as a mom, just remember when you're sick, it can take your in-laws, your parents, and your husband to do all of the things that you do around the house. And I thought to myself, that could be true for a lot of people, but it shouldn't be. Like, if you're sick,
That's what it was.
then maybe, and yes, the balance, maybe you stay at home, maybe your husband works, whatever it is, but your husband should be able to take care of your kids for a day or two by himself,
Yes.
right? And if your husband can't because maybe he works somewhere else or whatever, maybe he's in the military and he's deployed, then the other adult that you bring into the situation should also probably be able to do those things for a day.
Yeah.
Like it's, or two. It's kind of crazy.
Well, moms are a different breed.
I do
Literally.
think moms are wired differently, but that
We're also trained. We're also told that women can do all these things. Like, I also think there's like, we tell these little girls that they can do all these things, which is great. Don't get me wrong. Like, little girls are told today the different things that they could do that I didn't even know were options for me as a kid.
Okay.
But at the same time, we're being like, you're so strong. You're stronger than boys. You can do all these things that they can't do. And it's like, stop telling them they can do all these things. They don't have to do it all at once.
This is something we used to argue about on My Day Friday.
Yeah.
When we first started doing it, because you would always make fun of me for not being able to multitask. And I would say, I don't want people to think I can multitask. And the fact that, and this is very much something that women do, I would say more than men, is they brag about all of the work they can do in the same amount of time as a guy. And I've held this belief for a while. I think it's the most detrimental thing women do. Because if you can say, oh, look how strong women are. They can hold down a full-time job. They can be full-time moms. They can take care of a home. Then
and the bars appear. And
You're-
you're expected to be there all
that's
the time.
what every woman is expected to do with absolutely, you're taking the guys in your life off the hook. You're letting them off the hook, right? And that's why as a society, we expect so little
Yeah.
of men in those home situations. And it's why we give so little support to women who are raising their families, because
You can do it.
you can do it. Oh, you're a mom. You're the strongest. You're like
You're a
so.
boss mom.
Yeah, but by doing all of
Mom
that,
boss.
we are letting the men in their lives, the support system, off the hook. We're letting the government, our social structure just completely leave moms in the dust. Oh, you don't have formula? Well, you should be
Just
breastfeeding.
breastfeed.
Just breastfeed. It's not like that takes up your time and energy and maybe you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. But it starts, and this is going to sound crazy because I'm not trying to blame the victim here. It starts by women, I believe, expecting more from the people in their lives and the institutions that claim to serve them. That's where it should
needs to
start.
Yeah.
So, yes,
Yeah, but
moms are super strong,
also we have to put up this like, I have to be strong
but why do you have to? Why do you
Because-
have to put up that front?
because I need to prove that I'm strong, because for the longest time women weren't capable of doing anything, let alone
They weren't allowed to. They were always capable.
well, okay, yes. I meant capable from the other side. We knew before me.
You are a strong woman, Carla Marie. You are capable of anything you want.
I mean, I couldn't get a credit card in the 70s, but whatever. But it's things like that where
Everyone may have been better off without credit cards. So I'm
Seriously.
sorry. Continue.
No, but it's just that I feel as if, as a woman, you can't ever let your guard down to not show your vulnerabilities, but be like, oh, I can't step up, right? When we were working in radio, there'd be times like, no, I can do it. Why am I not doing that? Even though I didn't want to take on extra things, it was like, no, because I need to prove that I am just as capable as anyone else,
Yeah.
especially my male coworkers.
You know, it's funny you bring up work because
That's where
again-
I'm obviously not a parent, so that's where I lean.
yeah, but again, not trying to compare what I was doing in radio, which is like the most literally everything we've done for our professional careers is essentially meaningless. But doing what I did in radio is in no way, shape, or form close to what moms deal with and the
No.
importance of what they do.
Except for the babysitting.
But one of the similarities in this very specific discussion is the willingness to take on extra work and to cover for people, and how that just becomes a snowball of more and more responsibility and less responsibility being distributed to the people around you. And one of the things that always sticks with me is we were in a meeting one time. I don't know if you remember this, Carly, but it was all of us on our new show. So it was when we had a 5-person show with a producer and 2 co-hosts, and 2 of our bosses at the time. And the main guy, the executive that was in the room, the highest ranking person in that room, said something that I took as a compliment at the time because I was so messed up in the head. And now I think back, I'm like, what an idiot.
Yeah,
He said,
the PTSD.
quite literally, this is almost
I don't
verbatim.
even know where it's going.
Almost
and I feel like
word
it's
for
gonna make
word.
me vomit, whatever it is.
He said, I love working with Anthony because I can sleep at night because I know Anthony is not.
Yeah.
He said, I know Anthony is here making sure that everything is going to work the next morning so I can go to sleep at night. Which,
It's like a Jeff Bezos thing, except
I mean, I know people aren't going to think she's unbiased here, but that's essentially what happened in the meeting, right? I know people think you're just going to take my side because I said it, but you were there.
I was there. Trust me. I got a list of things.
And the only reason I bring that up is because it's very similar to when you hear a guy say, oh, my wife is great. I don't have to worry about anything at home.
She cooks, she cleans, she takes care of the kids.
Right.
She's a super mom. Like I'm so proud of her.
Yeah.
I'm so lucky to have her.
It's like, well, and someone said it in the chat before. I'm sorry I missed who it was. Feel free to put a little hand emoji and raise your hand. Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do it. And it definitely doesn't mean you should have to do it all of the time without a break. Now, the one exception I'll make is if your family dynamic is one of in this situation, the husband goes to work and the wife chooses to stay at home, then I believe not that the husband shouldn't do anything when he gets home, but I believe you've decided in that regard.
Yeah.
Your job is making money. My job is taking care of the home and all the things that take place there. And that's how we are going to divide and conquer our life together.
I agree, but that doesn't mean that the husband essentially has
staff. It doesn't mean that he doesn't do anything when
Yeah,
he comes home.
I agree.
Absolutely not. But it just means I don't want stay-at-home moms to feel like
it was Life is a Haiku said that.
Life is like, thank you very much. I don't want stay-at-home moms to feel like what they're doing is not equally as important as what the
You're
man in
keeping
that
the whole
relationship is
family
doing.
running.
So,
Okay, I have an idea.
what?
Do you remember back, I don't know if they still have this anymore. Remember like the sugar babies, literally, that you would
Oh, I thought you were talking about sugar babies like sugar daddies
Sorry,
and stuff.
no. Like,
I was like,
it was actually a
dirty
book.
little secret.
But in high school, when you would get a pound of sugar and have to carry it around, like you could dress it up, carry it around.
Yeah.
But some places you can get like fake babies.
I think they do that now in schools. They give you like a fake kid.
Okay, let's do this. Let's do, because neither of us have had a kid. We talk a lot of game for people like, oh, this is what people should be doing. You just did.
No.
No, you just did.
I have always said everything I do is less important than what a parent does.
No. You have just, I'm saying, we're sitting here seeing like, this is what it should be if you're a dad. This is what
Oh, okay,
but
yeah.
neither of us have ever done this.
Fair?
So I think for at least a week, right? Like a Sunday to Sunday, we can do it.
Okay.
You and I can have a fake toy. baby. We'll get one of those screaming babies, and we'll see what we do. We have
Okay.
to. The problem is,
All right.
we have to take it with us places, and people are gonna think we're batshit.
I mean, yeah, I think
Well, I'll
To
put
be
it in a
fair,
carriage.
to be fair, our situation is easier than most parents. We're both here all the time. The only time I'm not here is going to the gym. But I love what Jen said in the chat. She wrote, I had a fake baby in high school, but then needed to clarify
in
in
child.
child development class. You didn't just have a fake baby in high school.
Or instead of a fake baby, because I feel like that's crazy, is there someone who wants a week off of having their infant?
Nope, I'm not taking that responsibility.
I'll do it.
Nope.
But like I can't breastfeed, obviously, so maybe give me some of your milk, or actually, if there's form, I don't know.
I have a question for parents, especially if you have an infant. Does your baby crying sound different to you than other babies crying? Now, before you answer that question, I'm not
You
talking
mean-
about the pitch and, oh, I can identify my baby crying. That's not what I'm saying.
The cringe.
Yeah. When you hear your baby crying, do you cringe the same way you did when you heard a stranger's baby crying on an airplane?
Yeah, or like the babies outside of my street. There's just a bunch of babies outside crying all the time.
Okay, let's see. So Becky from Miami said, nope, it doesn't. It's annoying. Let's see.
Deborah, how about you take my 11-year? I think it like if we can fill out some kind of paperwork. I don't know. I guess this would be in the kids' room.
The studio where we have cameras and microphones? Great. Carla Marie is a great mom.
We'll do the show from downstairs for a week, I
Okay.
guess. And we'll just take like an 11-year-old and see what it's like. I got to get it to soccer.
So 83, oh, where'd it go? It's going too fast. 83 Marie Smith said a week with a teenage daughter would be birth control. Let me explain.
I'm fine.
You might be because you grew up with it. You were a teenage
No,
girl.
I mean like it's been birth controlled in me.
I
know.
I think I could handle for a week most ages, most like types, whatever, developmental stages of kids. I think my kryptonite
Yeah.
would be oh God, how do I say this without this becoming a terrible clip? Like a teenage age girl
Who is
who I
like
had to look after,
yeah.
like in
Yeah.
a parental
A
way.
parent guardian.
Yes. Because I don't think
Okay.
I would ever be able to get on the same wavelength for even a moment and like
Well-
understand what was going. I would just look at her the whole time and go, "Why are you so weird?"
Okay, but I could say the same thing about a boy.
Yeah. I guess you could. But I don't know. I think
Teenage boys are just as weird or
I think,
weirder.
I think teenage girls
They got all kinds of hormones.
I think if you had to rank what type of child is the worst,
Michelle's right.
I think teenage girls would be the worst.
Michelle said I was horrible. I mean, you were right. I thought you were going to say that Anthony knew you as a teenage girl, but she said I was horrible. Let's not forget.
Yeah, I wouldn't say she was horrible. And I didn't because Michelle lived with us for a little bit. She moved to
Yeah.
New Jersey. I think the Michelle that was in California before she moved to New Jersey may have been more horrible than the version that I got to grow up with. Like a slightly younger teenage Michelle. What are you showing? What am I looking at? I don't know what I'm looking at.
That's the radio fan with her fake baby.
That's her?
in high school and a Hanson poster behind her.
I don't know if that was supposed to be a public picture,
well,
Carla
I
Marie.
mean, she wouldn't have sent it to me in the middle of the show.
I literally had, that's insane. I had no idea that was her. Let's see. Michelle disagrees, and I guess I saw that I had the worst version of Michelle, which maybe,
Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe I am built for it. I just think if you had every
Wait.
parent, listen, if you had every parent, what?
So Desiree is in here,
Yes.
and Desiree is Angela and Spokane's daughter.
Oh,
And just said, "Mom, was I a terrible teenage girl?" And it said at Angela.
that's
Spokane.
amazing. Wait, is Desiree who we met?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. So we met at Stagecoach.
So many things are happening. Okay,
So,
let's get back on track.
I want
What
to
are
get
you
back to
saying
this. What I want to say,
about teenage
and I'm gonna tell Angela in Spokane she cannot be part of this survey that we're doing because her daughter is in here. For those parents who have had both a boy and a girl, okay, so I know I'm minimizing our group here, our study group, But if you've had both a boy and a girl, and let's say I'm hoping you've raised them till at least 18, if you had to rank the worst
Or still have them now.
developmental stages and genders of kid, I think teenage girl would rank the worst out of all of them.
Okay, so do 4-year-olds like you're just saying
Yeah.
teenagers or as
No,
4
as in every developmental stage of a kid's life. So infant, toddler, whatever, young adult, teenager, all of it. I think teenage girl would be the least liked and least welcomed on that list.
Dave, a woman said, I don't think it matters girl or boy. It just depends on the personality of the child. Desiree said, Mom, you can answer. I know I had an attitude.
Let's see.
My mom will say my brother was the easiest.
So Tiffany from Illinois said my son was more moody as a teenager than my daughter was. Jess from Minnesota, taking it on herself, said I was worse than my brother for sure.
Yeah, the girls in my family. I mean, we have more of them, so. Well, like, I was a saint compared to my sister.
83 Marie, if you want to read that one.
2 teenage boys and now a 12-year-old boy left. Oh, and 1 teenage girl. I would take a million teenage boys over a dramatic teenage girl.
I think teenage girls, like, in the home, I feel like they just wreak havoc. I think teenage boys outside of the home, they're gremlins, right? Like, they just, like, get into things and they ruin things and they're just...
No, I think they really
You ever see a group of teenage boys walk around?
They scare me.
They literally look like
they're going to kidnap
human versions of gremlins. Like someone gave them food after midnight and they just went out into town. And
So we live near Ballard High School, and every time they're getting out, I'm like, oh, why'd I come near the school? They're going to beat me up.
I was in Carla Marie's car the other day. Like, this is like 2 weeks ago. What?
Let me see. Was I with you?
No.
Oh, when I was driving and I was making a turn, I was like, oh, teenagers.
Yeah, so I was at an intersection where I had to pull into the intersection, right? So I'm like halfway through because there was a car blocking my point of view. So I had to inch up a little bit more than I should have. And I was trying to make a right? To merge onto the street. But I guess school had like just gotten out or lunch had just gotten out. I have no time. I have no concept of time with high school. And next thing I knew, this group of teenagers was walking across the intersection. So obviously I had to wait. But they went around my car like a school of fish. You ever see like fish kind of like mold around?
Yeah. Like it just breaks and goes back.
Bees.
Yeah.
You just kind of like they split around your car
Like zombies.
And for that brief like 30 seconds until they got from one side of the street to the other, I don't know why, but I was like, they're just gonna
flip it.
They're
Light
gonna
on
have
fire.
eggs in their pocket and they're gonna smash them in my face. Is the only thing. That was the only moderately rational thought that I had was, I don't know, they have eggs and they're going to smash them in my face.
We should so my friend Ellie, who watches the cats for me often, she's got 2 teenage boys and then her daughter, Sai, who did our You Look Great photo shoot with us the last time.
And she's got great kids.
Yeah, they're like all good kids.
And I'm sure, for the record, everyone in this chat, I'm sure your kids
Sai-
are great too.
Sai is 11 or 12. And so she can't really judge the teenager thing just yet, boys versus girls. But she's just I would love to get her on just to talk about them. She'll text me random stuff about the kids that I don't want to reveal. I'll let her do it. But her oldest son is amazing, and I kind of want to get him on because he goes to Ballard High School and be like, do you guys have eggs in your pocket?
Is he one of the gremlins? He's one of the gremlins?
He got his permit. He just started driving. So I'm going to die if I see him driving. I also said he's going to drive us to the airport once he gets his license. I'll pay him.
Okay. Sure. Whatever.
So anyway, I want to get him on here. Maybe when school's out, we'll do a school's out for summer. Let's ask you questions about that.
And this is the part of the show where I'm going to also apologize. For those of you with teenage daughters, I'm sorry I called your daughters the worst. Those of you with teenage sons, sorry I called them gremlins.
They agree.
For those of you who are teenage daughters and sons, I'm sorry I called you the worst and or gremlins.
When I walk by a group of teenage girls, someone said this, oh my God, they're judging me. I'm always like, oh, why did I wear this outfit today? And I'm like, how old do you think they think I'm old? Like maybe they think I'm just one of them. I don't know, but I'm not dressed like them because they're in their pajamas and baggy pants. And we walked past those 2 girls at University Village, and I just went, oh my God, the outfits they were wearing. Low-rise baggy jeans and like just a cami tank top. And I was like, I just saw myself
They looked like they were pulled from a 90s sitcom.
20
like a
years ago.
Nickelodeon
Yeah.
sitcom.
And it was just, I was like, please, please don't make it come back. Don't make it come back.
Let's see. My daughter was a good teenager. Her
Her
friends
friends.
were more of the issue.
Yeah.
Now, Fred, were they actually more of the issue, or did you view them as more of the issue because they were not your daughter?
Yeah.
Although Fred seems like a pretty unbiased person. I feel like if his daughter was terrible, he'd be like, no, my daughter was a piece of trash. Like, I think he would actually, maybe not in those words, but he'd be honest with us in some degree. Let's see. Wendy from Brooklyn. I have a teenage daughter and son. My son is worse than my daughter. So my mom, we've talked about this before, only had 3 sons. And she will tell you to this day, she's unbelievably happy she had 3 sons and didn't have to deal with like raising teenage girls.
I don't know.
Although and part of it's because we have a really big family, very close family. And my mom also helped raise my cousin Mickey, my cousin Nicole, my cousin Christina, my cousin Michelle. So she's dealt with like intimately raising women as well. She prefers us. She prefers her boys, obviously.
Yeah, I always said, like, because I grew up around girls, I'm like, I'd only want boys. I'd only want boys. But then I think once they got in their 20s, like,
It'd be cool.
no, that's when I think I would want girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Not boys.
Yeah, because teenage girls are the worst. But the reason I bring this up is that's what you just admitted. It's literally what you just admitted.
Yeah, no, I'm not disagreeing.
The reason I bring that up is because just because my mom had 3 boys did not mean she didn't have a moody, angsty, hard to deal with teenager, because that was me.
Well, that's the thing. Like, if
I'm
you're
still moody and angsty.
If you're comparing me versus you, right, our teenage years, you sucked.
No, I guarantee you both of our parents would choose to raise me over you.
You didn't do homework. You
Yeah.
got kicked out of your home. I literally lost a baseball bat and got a D and then was grounded for a month. I did nothing wrong except for get drunk once and throw up and get caught the night before Mother's Day.
I got caught junior year. Is when
Sophomore.
I got caught. Yeah.
No, freshman year. Yeah, that was freshman
See,
year.
worse.
But
worse.
no, but like Ashley was doing that shit in 8th grade.
That's fair.
So I was way better than you. I was respectful. I never cursed at my parents like Ashley did.
I still don't curse
Ashley
my
was
parents.
so
I don't even curse in front of my parents.
bad in high school. So bad. Every day.
Do you think if Ashley, and again, I didn't grow up with her, I'm just taking your word for it, right? So Ashley, if you end up watching this, anyone in the Marie clan, if you watch this, I'm going based off of what Carla Marie says. Information provided. Do you think that if either of your parents had Ashley first, they would have had any other children?
No. My mom says that all the time. She's like, the last one was the worst.
That's why, for
all
the record,
aspects from infant, from her literally being born and screaming, and she had like she was colicky, and she
What does
just
that mean?
she had belly issues.
Colicky, like a hair colic? Isn't that what that's called?
That's a cowlick.
Like what?
That's a cowlick. Like cow.
Oh,
Lick.
okay. Sounds the
this
same.
is colicky. It's like babies are just like, wah, my
Anyone know
belly
what that
hurts."
means in the chat?
She screamed, like, to the point where, like, her crib broke because we would have to rock it so much. Like, it was so bad. Then she
Sounds like a
was,
health
like,
issue.
just wild from 3 to 8. And then she just was a raging bitch and still
Okay.
love you.
So, I forgot why I brought that up originally. Oh, so your mom said the last was the worst, essentially, right? Which, and this is how we're going to close out the show, goes to my theory about snowboarding and skiing. It's why I never do the last run. I never say this is my last run.
If it just
because
happens, it happens.
You loosen up a little bit. You're not as vigilant. You hurt yourself on your last run.
Yeah.
That's why I end my day on a good note and I just walk to the parking lot. So your mom's theory on raising children and mine on snowboarding are very similar. Maybe she should have just never told herself it was the last one. She'd be like, no, we're going to have another one. We've got to pay attention to this one too.
Colicky is when they have gas in their bellies.
Colicky. Okay, severe gas pains.
I will see if Ashley Marie wants to come on here and defend herself, but honestly, she knows the truth, so.
Do you think, I think my brothers and I can be pretty honest about the types of kids we were.
I think.
Now that we're removed from it, obviously.
No, because it turns into I'm the favorite with all of us, and it's like.
Like you're the favorite?
No, yes, but it turns into not like who is the best kid. It's like I'm the favorite, and it's like no, we all know. Like my mom has said before,
Yeah, but that's
me.
like, so with cats, the 4 that we have in the house, that's like saying Erica's the favorite, but she's also the worst. But she's like funny, so she's the favorite. She's not the best cat.
No.
She might be the favorite because she's the worst. Like, both of those things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Wow.
She's not the there isn't a favorite.
In cats?
Yeah.
Oh, there's absolutely a favorite. Max is the favorite. Max is my favorite, at least. And I've got no problem saying it. You know why? Because they don't understand me.
I don't have a favorite.
Let's see. Hail Jean said, I know I am not the favorite, so I don't have to ask.
Yeah.
But are you not the favorite, like, out of a lot of kids? Right? Because the more kids in your family, the less chance you have of being the favorite. Right? So I guess it would probably sting less if, like, my mom was one of 10.
My mom qualifies it as who gave her the least headache throughout so far. But she'll go through phases of like, you're pissing me off right nowadays.
I think all of us probably gave my parents different types of headaches, but similar similar level.
Okay, wait. Well, I guess it's not Mother's Day. Maybe we should do a parent episode next week where we interview our parents about
what?
their kids.
We could. Let's see. Oldest of 4 and not the favorite. Whew, what did you do, Helgene?
I think your brother Michael's the favorite.
I feel like if you were one of 2 kids, that's not true. If you were one of 2 kids, not knowing you're not the favorite would hurt way more than if you're one of like 6 kids and you know you're not the favorite. Right? Because if you're only one of 2, you had a 50-50 chance of being the favorite. You had the best odds, other than being an only child, of being a favorite. And you couldn't do it.
My mom says, I love you all the same, but I like you differently.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Becky from Miami. I don't have a favorite.
All right.
Let's see.
I'm supposed to be at Seattle Cocktail Club's office waiting for a delivery for them because they're at the folk festival.
I have a delivery coming as well today, Carla Marie.
What?
Found someone on the Instagram who is selling me their Nintendo Switch.
This was a good show.
I got a Switch. So shout out to Dylon.
Oh.
He is going to drop it off hopefully today. So that's what I'll be doing. I got a chiropractor appointment because I apparently like to hurt myself at the gym. And the last thing on the list before we get out of here, well, there's 2 things. 1, listen to the Morning Show podcast. Thank you if you have done that already. If you haven't, give it a shot. And finally, you're doing great. We always say you look great.
Yep.
And that's phenomenal.
Oh, we should make it you're doing great.
But you're doing great. Life is hard. You are doing your absolute best. And even if it feels like you're not doing enough,
Yep.
you are doing what you can, and you are doing great. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Just want you to know that. All right? Peace out. Carla Marie, got anything to say? That's a no.
I don't remember. No.
You okay?
Oh, Sonali's crying
Why?
because she's doing great.
Oh, okay. See you